It's always bracing in the south, especially when you buy the seaside. And that's the subject of this weekend's video. We've come down to the Volks Electric Railway here in Brighton to have a look around, see how they operate, see the history of the railway, and see some of how they control their trains, especially during the busy April to October periods that the railways run. The railway doesn't run the rest of the year, it uses that time for maintenance. It's quite a very busy railway during the summer season, so they need that downtime to do a lot of their maintenance. And they're showing us around today, and we can see some of the work that they're doing on their fleet there. Just a little history for the railway here. Originally, Magnus Volk, very British eccentric entrepreneur, decided to build a electric railway from down near the marina there, down along the frontage here on the beach, affectionately known as the Daddy Longlegs. It actually ran in the sea. At low tide it could run no problem. Elevated gondola cars, which I'll show you a picture of. And those gondola cars operated for a number of years. Loads of problems and issues, obviously, with the tide getting problems, and the permanent way, obviously, salt water, sea, doesn't always work in our favour as railway engineers. So that was discontinued, but originally it terminated up there, and then when that was eventually abandoned, he turned his attention to a smaller, narrow gauge railway that ran along the back here on Madeira Drive, all the way down to the far end there, down near the middle pier. About 1.1 miles in length, just a little short of 1 mile now. Very busy railway, but let's take a look around and see what they do. So this is all modern equipment now. What was in here originally? What did you had Mercury arc rectifiers. When did you take them out?
Can't really remember the exact date. It was before I started. Well, you look at I've been here 17 years, and I think it's about probably about 25 years ago I got
Blimey.
replaced with these two portable ones.
They've been in ever since and running fine?
Yeah.
What voltage do you run on?
110 volt DC.
That's the whole line. So is it common return rail?
Yeah, it's on return.
Yeah. So your two rectifiers, is it one for the north, one for the south, or one for the backup?
Both work in tandem.
At the same time? So if one goes down, you've still got another one to back up.
That's basically all of it.
On the carriages, the trains themselves, is it just one motor, or is there one on each carriage?
Well, there's one on each carriage.
Right.
Yeah. And they work in tandem, and a couple is a double.
Yes. Is it a bit like a tram control system? Same. You got dead man's handles.
Yeah.
Where do you get your equipment from? Are you having to? Is it original or?
It is original. The motors are from 1912.
Blimey.
If you can have a look at them over the
I was going to say, yeah. Thank you.
That's all right. 6 would run with core 10, which is over on the far shed there, and core 6 is just there. And they've got the these have all got the Curtis control system in it.
So you got your one kind of maintenance engine over there.
Yeah.
Diesel?
Diesel simplex, yeah.
Diesel simplex. How many carriages have you got altogether?
6 is it?
6 of them. Yeah. How many trains do you run normally? Say like in a busy season?
We'll only run 2 at a time.
Just 2 at a time, 2 sections?
We use a total system on a single track.
Right. Have you got them tokens I can see, or?
Really?
Oh, they're there, are they?
Just like a relay button on. So we have got 2 passing loops, but
yes.
We don't use them. So we would have white for to go from the loop to the marina station.
Yep.
Or the blue to come from the loop to halfway.
Right.
And swap over.
Gotcha. So in the past, was it worked with more?
10. Yeah, the Magnus used to run 10 cars at the time.
Joking.
But he used to do line of sight driving.
Oh, blimey. Typical trams, yes. So control-wise, safety-wise, what have you had to update to kind of modern standards?
This one's quite unique.
Because I believe they're all listed. This railway's listed as a whole, isn't it?
No, this
Isn't it?
Basically, what we've got here is an ultrasound switch.
Right.
So it turns off. We're going to use the body of a person to do it, so we'll be bouncing back and getting a return constantly. But this field, due to increasing your trousers, so it would bounce and go over here. Sort of
Oh
thing,
yes, yeah.
So we just decided to put these cars in front of it.
Ah,
So
magnetic
that's
cars.
basically a dead man's pedal. If you attach the landlord to yourself, so if you fall off the train,
Yeah.
the train will come to a stop.
Same as jet bikes and all that.
The other trains we've got like just a foot pedal.
So you keep the foot down on dead man's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is this what you're going to install on all of them eventually?
No, I think we want to move away from it, to be honest, because it's
It's a few problems. Still,
few
back to the old dead man's because it was a lot tried and tested, isn't it?
so you've got 4 notches on a train. So first, second, third, fourth.
And the handle comes off, so you, when you change ends, you can take it in. Yeah.
Yeah. Then this lead will reverse it. Stick that control lock position.
Ah, it locks it in. Right.
Locks the brake option up and put it on, and you will
Ah.
when you're driving the opposite direction, and just do the vice versa. The other.
It's a bit different.
Inspection pit there.
Yes.
That's your brake.
Yeah.
Yep.
So all of this building was funded out of Heritage Lottery funding grant.
Yeah. That was, we've got it, it was 2017 that was.
It's fair
We've got a
big.
new aquarium station,
Yes.
and 3 of the cars went away at Alan Keith to be restored.
So you run. It's 1.1 miles, isn't it? The whole length of the line.
It's actually about just a mile now. It used to be
Just a
there
mile,
before,
right. How many passengers do you reckon you have in a year?
Quite a few, over 100,000.
Oh, that's a lot, isn't it? Yes. I'll keep you busy. And you run up to October from.
Usually we use the Easter holidays. The kids Easter holidays we run from.
About April.
And then through the end of September.
That's quite impressive. How many staff, volunteers?
There's 4 full-time staff. There's the manager, myself, an engineer, and Verity, who's the events organiser.
Yes.
Yeah, there's the marketing for the railway. And then we employ a seasonal technician and 6 full-time drivers and cashiers that do the work on alternative days, and 2 part-times.
Daft question, why was the transformers over there? Is that just because that's near the road supply, the railway was over there originally, or?
It's just the
way it was.
The building you've just been in was built in, Magnus took it over in 1884.
Right.
He started the railway from Palace Pier. He went just under where the old chain pier was.
Yes.
And then back to the Palace Pier. And then he extended to halfway in 1884, where he took over
The buildings.
but it was just a hole in the wall. I think the arch was built to pump seawater up to the hospital.
Ah, right. I noticed you've got a few crossings, foot crossings mostly. How do they operate as such?
We've just got 2 signal lights on and that flash.
Just the 2 flashing
Other
reds?
than the one at crossing 6.
Yes. That's the big gates.
No, that's just a crossing just yet, to be honest. We've got a signal system there because of line of sight issues.
Yes.
We used to have one at crossing 5, but we don't use crossing 5 anymore.
Right, and that's just worked off sensors on the train, or?
It's a sensor on the truck where the wheel.
Any problems with the obvious, the seas right next to you? Any problems with that? No?
Just it rusts everything.
Yeah, you must have problems with your return rail, surely, with that been a few months out of use with the sea.
It's quite good after getting up and running for the start of the season. Cleans the rail up and
That's good.
But at the minute, if we drove the train on, you'd see a lot of hope.
Just to keep it clean.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Mine
Yeah.
Days, but it's always a bit of a trip hazard.
I can say it's slightly raised up as usual, the return rail.
In number 6, we started its annual thorough exam, so taking the motor casing off, reveals the armature, which just spins to drive the big cog.
That's
and
directly
the
onto the flower. So how much work is involved getting that motor out? Can you lift the bodies, or is it specialist?
Just very heavy on the cast iron and use the cranes to lift the armature onto the
right,
floor.
yes.
So you can see the bottom coil, the clamps.
It's just clamped on.
Yep.
So each one of the cars has one
Yep. And then when they're coupled, they have 2 motors between the two.
between the 2 cars, right? And how often do you have to change these or maintain them?
Just every winter we just lift each one out, just give it an overview, do any essential replacements.
So it's a full job basically doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, so the size of them carbon brushes.
And each motor takes about 40 to 50 amps on average.
On starting current?
Yep.
Oh, cripey. So what's your maximum speed of your trains? Because I saw the 13 mile per hour sign.
About 8, 9,
About 8
10.
altogether.
They're not built for that much speed, just a bit of fun.
And the amps drops off obviously once you're coasting. So from one end of your line to the other, how long roughly does it take, do you reckon?
About 10.
10 minutes, that's great. I just noticed the old time clock. Oh, blimey. Is that still used or?
No, it was a volunteers project for who did a lot of the other heritage work. This is the electrical distribution,
Yeah.
which
So you have your safety lockouts to lock it out. And then the keys for this, because I'm seeing they're all numbered keys. So obviously, if someone else wants to work on something in here,
if
they can.
someone's working on the track in a section, they take the key out, mark off the date, the number key, and their name.
Gotcha.
So whoever knows if you want that power on, that's only the person who can do it.
Right.
So we've got centre section which goes from crossing 4 just up there to crossing 9, which is the one just by the swimming pool.
Yes.
And then aquarium is beyond 9 all the way to the aquarium station. Marina is crossing 4 all the way to Black Rock Station.
Yep.
North Shed is these 2 lines up to the points at the platform. And South Shed is those 2 lines on the far side up to the platform. So they have the main voltage here, so when the RECs are on and that's pulled out, that would show a green light.
Yes.
And then individually, each section will be turned on when required to do train movements from each.
So if you get a short section, it'll drop out a track fault, trip switch,
It'll
trips.
either show that or the whole board will trip. So either all these will trip,
Yep.
the RECs will stay on, or sometimes all the RECs go and the whole board goes on.
Yes. Does it have an intermittent trip where it'll try and power itself back up again, or does it just stay dead till someone comes to it?
It stays dead until we
You come back to
check
it.
the rectifiers or have to let drivers know, then we energise it.
Yeah. And this is fed from the substation over the other side of the road.
So just 110 comes in and it distributes down the track.
So who does your electrical side? Is it within the Volks railway itself, or do you have to have independence?
Built by Boxall
Rep.
Electronics, but not sure.
Yeah, there's different systems for different people. And if you're working on the track, stop board as usual.
Yep. So in here we've got engineering train, which we keep in the middle in the winter,
Yes.
and then in the summer, in the night, whichever train comes from Blackrock at the end of the day, the cars just live in the
Sit
shed.
in here, yeah.
The one from Aquarium goes in the north, then we shunt them around because we do the daily FTR in the morning on the pit. Then we shunt them around, then they go to their respective ends for the first passenger train.
It's a lovely smell of fresh wood here, which I can see. You're re-sleeping at the moment?
Yeah, doing 100 metres of track at that end, and also changing sleepers on the curves just around the swimming pool.
So the whole railway's just wood sleepers.
Wood sleepers.
Have you ever had to change your, well obviously you change your main running rails, but have you ever had to change the electrification rail at all? That's the original one.
In my time here, we've just taken it off whilst we're doing the sleepers and
Yeah.
put it back on when new insulators, but other than that, the rail itself is...
Yeah. I'm going to say they're very small insulators. Just looking at that one there. So I presume all this equipment, it's been made specifically for the railway, or it's original?
Yep. Car number 7, which is currently going under a full refurb, which new control system, which hopefully will be ready for the 25 season. In front of it is car number 9,
Yeah.
which has been having a few issues in the season just gone that we're still trying to
Fathom out.
investigate. And then next to car 9 is car number 10, which is the youngest car in the fleet, only at 99 years old next year.
Oh, completely open toast rack.
Yep.
Originally, they didn't have canopies on originally. They were just open, but now, well, that is some work in that, isn't it?
And then Southend car that ran on this railway between 1948 and the 90s, when after the war the council took it over and there was a shortage of cars because a few had to be scrapped.
Yes.
And some could not be run straight after the war because of damages due to storage. So we bought in Southend's 8 and 9, which were after they regauged the Southend here to about 3 foot.
And I can see you're just redoing all the woodwork on it. Are these the original, or are these ones you've had to make?
These ones were going to be for a car similar to number 4. We had
Yes.
car 3 from 1892, which was scrapped, but they were going to, over the long term, rebuild it. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, because of the Southend car, that's temporary on hold, so it's here, all bits over the road.
There's some woodwork even in that little bit alone.
That's the platform, so the marina train comes in on this side, aquarium train goes in on that side.
So you got obviously you discontinue your supply rail near to the crossings where there's any public access.
That's disconnected there, so if we livened up the centre, this bit would be live, but anything that side will be dead so that they can work.
So it's sectioned, right?
So we can run electric trains out the south and back out to Marina at the moment with the new track, but
Gotcha.
we can't run anything that way.
I see,
until-
yes. You've got your sign on the end of the platform saying blue token to proceed.
Yep.
So your crossings, obviously, I know this one's got the yellows and the red, so it's just acting the same as a normal
So it just
wig wag crossing.
hits the sensor that activates it,
Just down there, yeah.
and then it sets it off there. They only work one way, so that's the activation for that way.
Ah,
That's the reset, and then that's the activation.
gotcha.
And the reset here, so you can't activate it there going wrong road. It would activate there, and then you have to reset it with a key or another bit of maintenance.
So what do you use for your sensors? Is it seems quite far down, so it's not a magnet switch, is it?
It just detects the wheel.
Right, so it's just like a Hall effect sensor, it's just detecting the field of the metal. I see, yes, yes. Yeah. Ah, yes. You can see just there. Like the old Freddy's. That's done by an outside firm? Or was it done by in-house by the railway?
I'm guessing it would be by the railway when they reconfigured the layout.
Clever little idea, that. Yeah, so you've got your sign for the blue token to proceed that way. And each one of the stations has one of these signs on it.
Just this one, and Aquarium has red token, and Blackrock has white. The
Yeah.
loops formerly were used, but the OR and the boards don't like us using
Yeah.
loops, so we can join the blue and white for that end, and the red and yellow for that end, so we just drive straight through the loops, because we don't run 3-4 trains of service anymore
Yes.
like they used to.
Now, Sam did mention that the railway doesn't use all its passing loops, though they have to traverse through the left-hand running on each one of them. This is one of the passing loops here. You can see the posts there that the tokens could be left on if they were required. There's quite a number of passing loops on the railway originally. So that's just something to show you. One of the nice things to see here is this half-mile Victorian parade being restored. This is Madeira Terrace. It's reckoned there's 6 tons of iron in each one of those columns, each one of those arches. It's about half a mile long. It's going to take around about £25 million, they reckon, to restore. This is Brighton Council that's doing all the work, and it's going to take a long time to get it fully restored. You can see how large this is. They're going to put back the original walkways underneath, some seating areas, some lifts. Every now and then there's a public way down. They're going to improve that with some lifts and everything, generally tidy it all up. This is quite a busy beachfront, and it's a lovely piece of Victorian engineering. Probably the only one of its kind that's left. I mean, you're talking kind of like the same as the Iron Bridge Gorge in engineering works. So that is going to be a big project for Brighton Council. And of course the railway's right alongside it, just there. So it'd be nice to see that up and running. space for pop-ups and other things to go underneath. The beach is right next door. This will be cracking when it's done.